Welcome all to this Spring 25 release webinar. This is our quarterly show. We did one last quarter and we made a promise that we'll continue this. So here we are back again, giving you a brief of what we have been able to accomplish in last one quarter. That was the last quarter of last calendar year, 24. And what we are up to. Also give you a glimpse of what is about to come in next quarter, like what are we working on right now, right? That will go out by end of first quarter of this calendar year, right? 2025, right? Thank you for joining in today. We'll make it interesting for you. We have four key demos lined up today. We just picked up four of them, the key features of last quarter, and we'll give you a miscellaneous brief on various other things that we did. Essentially, you'll see a theme. Look, folks, we are in the middle of a period that would be defined as the fastest sort of change in software world, right? I mean, you'll see SaaS applications reinventing themselves to sort of utilize the transformative power of AI and bring that to customers, right? So we realize that we are in the same period and hence it is all the more important to keep a direct connect with you as customers, as prospects. And that is why we are going to continue this tradition of quarterly update to you about what we've done and what we are about to do, right? You'll see one consistent theme in the entire 2025 year that you'll see things coming from us, right? One would be the functional scalability, right? We have, as a platform, as enterprise grade platform, we've always believed in giving our customers very high degree of configurability, high degree of functional scalability. You'll see 50% of effort is still going in that direction, right? We don't want to be in a situation where customers have the challenge of incorporating a workflow or adapting to a process change that sort of falls out of the platform. If things start to fall out of the platform, then what happens is that you have scattered data. You don't have robust platform to build things on, right? Particularly if you want to roll out an AI vision along with us, it is important to have very consistent and robust, reliable data. Having workflows that fall out of the platform is not the ideal scenario to be in, right? So that's why we'll continue to focus on functional scalability. 50% of our effort, like I said, would continue to go in year 2025 on those, right? So in today's brief as well, you will see a few things where we are trying to take things forward in terms of functional scalability, incorporating workflows or incorporating nuances of those workflows, right? 50% of our effort will consistently go in introducing AI features, making things intelligent, and reinventing workflows where AI could play a significant role, right? You'll see a glimpse of that as well today, right? So like I said, four key features. With that sort of background in mind, let's dive in. We'll go one by one. Kaushal, you want to move forward? I'll just give a quick brief on the first one before you take everybody through the demo, right? Okay, so the first one team we're picking up is reporting tertiary sales, right? And running reward program, right? So imagine a building material company, for example, having the sales network in which you sell to a dealer and then a contractor or a plumber or painter would come to the retail outlet, buy things, right? From that, right? What you want to do as a company, and that happens in other industry verticals as well. You may have, people in agri inputs industry, farmer buying from a retail outlet. You want to track when that purchase happened because that's your real sales. Selling to a distributor, selling to a retail outlet, which is part of a network, sometimes is not the real indicator of sales. So you do want to capture that moment that when it is actually being sold out from a retail outlet to a eventual buyer, right? And you want to run some reward program in that, right? To sort of inspire loyalty and make sure that your customers are buying your products. Either ways, you want to track that, right? And with this feature, what we are doing is that we are giving you that capability to track your sales, your material movement from your distributor to your retailer and further on to a contractor who's buying it to apply it for an end consumer or an end consumer himself buying it from a retail outlet, right? And run reward programs on that, right? Essentially, a lot of other options are available to customers, but what happens is that, if you start running this workflow on a separate system, you're not able to bring all that together, right? Sales team doesn't get the full context of what is happening to our trade promotion budgets and reward programs and and how active my buyers are, or how active my influencers who are actually influencing my sales are, right? And it's important to give that integrated perspective to them. So that is why we have completely enabled this workflow, so customers can run their sales execution at retail outlets, their demand generation activities, and this reward program together on one platform, and not sort of run into data issues, data integrity issues, and etc. Right? It sort of ties back to our overall vision of giving you a unified platform, modular but yet very unified experience, right? Unified way of running these workflows, these sales enablement workflows. So without further detailing, Kaushal, why don't you just get into it? A bit of context and a demo would be great.
Yeah, yeah. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. So basically, what we have done is that in cases where clients want visibility of their sales, not just from distributor to the primary, let's say wholesaler or customer, but down the supply chain. So let's imagine a supply chain like I have primary warehouses. Those warehouses sell to some major customers. Those major customers or wholesalers then sell to retailers. Those retailers are selling to maybe some contractors or customers down the line. And I want visibility of this sale, not just at secondary sellout level, which happens in DMS or at distributor level, but down the supply chain. And I also want to offer reward programs, that I want to offer reward programs to end customer, that if an end customer is scanning my product, I can easily do that. So basically what we have done is we have enabled in both the interfaces that sales team can also do that, and customer themselves through customer app can do it in a self-service way. So first, uh, this is how it looks. I will take you to demo of both the interfaces. Uh, this is a screenshot of reward program which can be set up. So in terms of setting up reward program, what we have done is just a minute, I got logged out. So in terms of setting up scheme, what we have done is now schemes, before we just start dispatch or secondary sale transaction, now what we have done is that down the supply chain, any kind of purchase scan or sellout scan which is happening, on that reward program can be set up to incentivize customers down the supply chain to report any kind of purchase or sellout being made, as well as it gives company a visibility of if my products are actually selling to end customers or down the supply chain. So in terms of scheme, this is the setup. I am changing it to my mobile app. So this is the sales team interface. I go to customer. So in the log sales functionality, basically, uh, in log sales, either it's a sales to some customers which is there in my platform. So imagine a scenario where a company is selling to dealers, and those dealers are selling something to contractors. So these are called associated buyers in the system. I can just select whichever contractors are associated to this customer. Let's say I'm any kind of sellout has happened to on this customer with who is an electrician. I can just proceed. I can add whatever sales as a sales team member. This is the sales team interface. This will be visible on backend, that this will increase the inventory of the associated customers to whom this sales is happening. as well as reduce the inventory from where sellout is happening. Same holds true for customer app, where customers themselves can report that this is the purchase I have made or this is the sellout I have made. So apart from all of the functionalities, all of these are configurable. We have also added purchase and sellout and a scan. So customers can directly report that I want to report this purchase. These are the sellers of mine which are associated to me. So customer is saying that I'm purchasing from this. It will take to a scan. It will directly ask for the scan. So if the serial number is valid, it will basically uh, add it to purchase and sell out transactions. So any kind of purchase transaction, sell out transactions, it will appear here, as well as associated reward programs will appear in reward section. So all of the rewards associated with it will appear here.
You do the scan, Kaushal, and then if the scan is valid, then informs you and then runs the rule engine at the back end and then rewards the point. If it is not valid, it will just inform you that, hey, it's a invalid scan, right? It is already scanned or it's just invalid scan. Yeah. Right.
Shifting my screen back to the slide. So this is the first part.
Yeah, you can keep putting in questions, folks, and we'll pick them up maybe in one go towards the end. Nikhil, is that how you want it?
No, you can answer right away also if you want.
We can pick a question or two if
Yeah.
you have audience. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Prashant is asking a question. Is about do the dealers or retailers need to enter his sellout data every time?
Yes, if you want them to, if you have given them an incentive to do that. For example, if you're running a scheme on reporting purchase that they're doing or reporting sellout that they're doing, then obviously they would simply need to scan, right? Scan is just one way. We're enabling other ways of reporting sales as well. But products that carry a QR code, a unique QR code, obviously scan is the best possible way, right? So yes, they will need to scan it and they will immediately be informed that, what points have you won as a result of that scan.
And this is particularly useful for industries where liquidation is extremely important, that not just selling to my primary customers, but whether my goods are getting sold out from that point or not. So to get that visibility, companies operate different kind of incentivization schemes, and then customers report.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think most organized way could be a team to just take up the questions in the end. Prashant, just hold on, please. We have dedicated time to have question and answer on all these topics. Just keep a note. We want to make sure that we go through all the 4 topics, so you have whole rounded list of questions to ask us. The second one that we wanted to take team and that we have worked on in last quarter is around van sales and delivery. So essentially this workflow has been there in BeatRoute, but we wanted to take the ease of use and the completeness of workflow to another level. We saw several scenarios where we could take it to a next level. So there are 3 key items that we are covering in this workflow, right? So the first one is that scenarios where a van salesperson comes back to the warehouse, right? And he has to do a reconciliation on inventory as well as the payment, right? How can we make that process really quick is what has been our focus, to make it easy for the warehouse person who's going to deal with multiple such people returning back to the warehouse, looking for reconciliation, and also release amount of time for the salesperson, right? Second has been cases where a van goes out in the market and it stays that way before the next reconciliation. In fact, there are several reissues that happen, right? So it ends up selling more of certain items and is running out of stock or about to run out of stock, and then comes back and then takes a refill, right? So it does a few refills before actually does a reconciliation of inventory and cash, right? So so that is a workflow that we have worked on, and we have enabled that fully. Third is enabling delivery, right? So it's not even a van sale scenario, but if you have a pre-order scenario, how can we enable a van going out for delivery the next day or the same day with all those orders that have come in, right? So securing stock for each of those orders respectively, and ensuring that all those orders actually become a task for the delivery person, right? And he can use the BeatRoute app to actually execute his delivery, and everybody else being in the sync in real time, right? So these are three key areas. Small little improvements, many of those that we have done along with that as well. So again, you will see that our focus has been to improve the functional scalability, the workflow completeness here. I'll let Kaushal sort of dive deeper, tell us the sort of reasoning behind each feature, the way he has thought of them, and do actual demo.
Yeah. So first, I'm basically shifting to the distributor's view, which is the stock issue location for these ready stock salesmen. So in terms of van sales, there are mainly two key type of user group. One who are taking stock in the van and then selling on the go to customers, and second is supplying stock against already booked orders. It can also be doing sales also, as well as supplying to customers where orders have already been collected. So I will start with distributors interface. So in distributor interface, all of the ready stock users are basically visible here. In terms of, it gives a clear visibility in terms of what is the current inventory value in the van and what has been the sales post last reconciliation. Any kind of receivable which I'm supposed to collect, I can straight away go to issue stock. There is an option to repeat whatever was last issued, as well as there is an option to issue against whatever orders which are pending. So if I want to assign certain orders to this person, right now there is just one order which is pending. I can select this order. It will show me all of the SKUs which are there in the order. I can issue against this. I can also add some other SKUs that I also want to issue them. So let's say this is the issue which I'm doing. This is like which date this delivery is supposed to happen. So if I select today, then it will appear in the schedule of Varun Singh that I have been assigned this order. I have been issued this stock for supplying to this customer. These are all of the stock requests which come from sales team. They appear here. Any kind of stock issue which I have done. So we have also added a functionality where stock only gets added when van salesperson accept that certain stock is issued to them. I'm now shifting to the mobile app interface.
It's a positive confirmation from the van salesperson that yes, I have received this stock, right?
So any user who is configured for making dispatch and delivery against order, they have a menu option which is inventory. So here they can see the current inventory in the van. And we have also added a functionality where a van sales team person can pick up stock from multiple distributors which are connected to them. So this is the current inventory value, that what is the total value. SKU level information is clearly visible, that post last reconciliation, what has been the total stock issued, what is today's sale, what has been total sale, if there are any customer returns, if there is some kind of interim returns which I made to warehouse. So as Vinay mentioned that it's like in actual operations, It's a case where van salesperson comes to warehouse, picks stock multiple times before reconciliation, returns the stock in between, gets returns from customers. He wants, companies also want an option that if I picked return from one customer, I can sell it to other customer if the return is usable. So all of those uh, workflow level functionalities has been enabled here. I can request for stock against this distributor that I want to, I want this stock, and this request will already be visible when I take my van to the warehouse. So I can simply just add that whatever last I requested, I can add last requested. I can put up. This will be visible to my distributor that this is the stock which I want. Any kind of stock which is issued to me. So just now I had issued from the distributor's menu. So I can just see that this is the stock. If I actually confirm that I have received this stock, I can accept or I can reject that no, the stock hasn't been added. Only after the stock has been accepted, it gets added in my van's inventory. So I accepted this. This is the request which I just submitted. This stock requested, it hasn't been issued to me. So stock issued, stock requested, all of these are visible. I can make sales against any kind of returns which I'm making. So yeah, that's all in this module.
You covered all the three aspects, Kaushal?
Yeah.
All right. So team.
So this stock request which I just made, it's visible here. Distributor can simply issue stock against that, and then the sales team will get an option to confirm against this issue. Payments, in terms of making payments faster, we have just given an option where all the payments are can be clubbed at user level, and I can simply just mark receive payment against that.
Right, cool. So team, another thing that we are currently working on as far as van sales process is concerned is basically bringing in intelligence. We feel that there is a lot of room for optimizing the van's inventory in the time of the van salesperson in terms of solving problems related with van not going out of stock too soon, or what can we help him upsell, right? So giving him enough stock that's worthy of upselling, right? So using our sort of order recommendation engine in this context as well, and then helping you issue stock to the van and guide him along the way in terms of selling further, right? So not going out of stock, at the same time getting guidance around what he can upsell and cross-sell, right? So that's something that you will see in our next update as well. Next feature a key feature that we want to highlight today that we want to give you a walkthrough of is Pocket MIS. So we've had this concept of sales team app level reporting in terms of scorecard, right? That ties back to our goal-driven sales technology philosophy, that there is a scorecard, there is target versus actual. At any point of time, your sales teams are aware of, with respect to important KPIs, how they're doing and how they're performing, are they meeting the target or not. But we want to take the reporting available on the mobile app to the next level. So give more details, more sort of transactional details to sales teams, frontline as well as managers. In some industries, frontline may not be bothered about it, but in some industries they are, where they are also responsible for deliveries and payment collection and etc. So it was important for frontline as well as definitely important across industry vertical for managers, right? To have this detailed reporting and detailed interactive reporting, really, right? I mean, not just static tabular presentation of data, but where a user can see multiple dimensions of that data, right? So that's why we called it Pocket MIS. And this is the first wave that we are showcasing to you, where we have enabled some key data matrices. But we're taking it forward, right? We're taking it forward. We hope to come back to you next quarter and then show you that part where we have completely made it configurable in our true sort of own style, where we try to keep everything configurable, functionally scalable. right? Where you will be able to configure pretty much any of these reports on your own and push it to, I mean, make it published on the mobile app device, right? So sales team has a direct access to these reports, right? Let's see, Kaushal, in detail what we have done. You're on mute, Kaushal.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So basically, this is more about bringing a concise way of data representation to mobile app for managers or sales teams, quick action on those. So some of the reports which have been enabled on mobile handheld device. So let's say I just want to see all my pending orders which are yet to be dispatched, and I want to talk to my I want to talk to my warehouse or logistics people that why don't you fast track dispatch of something. I want to see my overall level. What is my brand level sales this month? What is my category level sales this month? What is my product level sales this month? Or any kind of offtake which is being reported. So let's say I take this example. It's team level data, as everything is based on hierarchy, because this is a sales rep role user. There is no option to change team on the top. Then the data is MTD data basically. I can just play around that I want to see this at category level. So this will give me my sale at category level, that this is the total order value for this month. This is the dispatch value of this month, and it is on category level. I can shift this data on, maybe I want to see customer by customer. I want to filter it only for class A customers. Then there is just one class A customer, which is brown tree. On brown tree, this month, total number of orders which have been put up are 17. Total order value count of this against those 17 orders, just one dispatch has been made. So this kind of report we have set up, and all of these will be configurable from backend, that what kind of data we want to show. So taking one more example, this is pending orders to dispatch, that how many orders this month are pending to be dispatched. So I can just see this at order level, that give me a order level view, so that I can just see. So I can see that this order ID, this order is pending from 4th of March. All of these orders are pending from 4th of March. I can take this order ID, I can straight away go to visit this order, and basically provoke action from warehouse to fast track delivery on this. So soon you will see how to set up these reports. But if these reports are relevant, you can get them set up from your customer success point of contact.
Yeah. So a lot of this information is already available in the context of a specific customer visit. Here we are trying to give you more aggregate data, because a lot of times sales reps and managers are worried about at the aggregate level, how are we doing, and then is there anything that I need to act on, right? What you will see in future, how this gets strengthened, is one aspect where we are going to make it completely configurable, give it in your hands to configure any of these reports and publish it on the device, the mobile device, as well as one more aspect that currently we are working on is giving you AI insights on these reports, right? So one is that you are able to interact with it and then look at different dimensions and then identify problems. The other is have an option there that, hey, give me a AI summary of this. Give me a summary of this data, right? So if there's anything amiss in terms of a particular customer going down in sales on certain SKUs, or generally going down in sales, or some order that has not been dispatched, not even a single dispatch has happened, has been pending for some time, it will end up highlighting those. So it will create action items for you, right? So that's something that we are currently sort of fine tuning, and that's something it's in the works. Again, we hope to give you a better update next quarter. Right? What's next, Kaushal? Yeah. Okay. So fourth one out of the five that we wanted to showcase, help me plan, right? So this is an interesting one. Team, across, I think we gave you a glimpse of this last time, right? We updated you that we are working on this, right? When we did the last quarterly release, and now it's in production. So we are going to show you a demo right off our production application. Essentially, in many industry verticals, the frontline himself is making discretionary decision about where to go, which customers to go, and why go to a particular set of customers, right? What is the business benefit that I'm going to derive, right? Doesn't happen in sort of a milk run beat plan kind of a scenario, but in many industry verticals, frontline is making discretionary decisions based on what events have happened, where payment is pending, where an order has not been received for some time, or where an order has been received just yesterday, but I need to tackle some other problem, right? So based on those, right, sales team needs to be helped, and managers across the board, right, across almost all the industry verticals in the entire sort of retail and distribution world, right? Managers have to make key decisions about where they can help their team solve some problems, right? So they again take advice from sales reps or randomly sort of visit some customers to identify problems and then solve it and help their sales team. But that's not good use of their time. We really want to use AI to help them identify which customers have the highest priority, where they can spend their time most valuably, and then can help their teams in the best possible way, right? So this is that tool that managers in across all industry verticals and frontline in some cases some industry verticals could use it to decide where to go and what to do, right? Kaushal, you want to dive in?
So basically, this I had also shown this last time that in terms of planning, I as a manager, I'm going out in certain territory. I need to know that which customers need my immediate attention, which are high priority customers for me, and when should I go in terms of planning, and what all activities are supposed to be done because of which activities this is a priority customers. So I'm shifting to my mobile app. So let's say this is the schedule section of the app. Right now, on this account, some customers are already set up, that some customers are already scheduled. But let's say maybe none of the customers are scheduled. I have the flexibility in terms of visiting highest priority customers. I can just go to uh, help me plan. It tells me by all of the routes that how many urgent visit customers are there on which route and which route is the most recommended route. So it gives me an idea in terms of all the areas where most urgency is there. Let's say I go to this area, in that it is showing me that there are two high priority customers. In terms of I just want to see that why is this a high priority customer. So it basically tells me that some kind of trade asset check is not happened, business volume has gone down by 60% compared to last month, and then some payments which are going overdue. So it gives me those kind of information. I can select this customer that I want to visit this tomorrow, and I can just add it to my schedule. It will start reflecting in my 12th March schedule. So similarly, basically this is a real-time assistance in terms of scheduling. It also gives me a view in terms of some kind of customer insights, because these priority levels are also calculated based on certain kind of customer insights. So industries like FMCG, where users have a fixed visit, they can utilize this module in terms of just utilizing the insight part, that what do I want to feed my sales team in terms of whenever a customer is visited. So let's say this customer I'm visiting, then it tells me basically this is the customer insight section which is added, that in this month there hasn't been a visit which is made. In terms of order, my business volume is down. In terms of payments, in terms of certain activities execution. So right before starting my call, it just feeds me with certain kind of inputs, which helps me build conversation with the customer. So this is the customer insight section. Now on the back end, we have added one section wherein all of the operational intelligence AI inputs, we have given some configurability in terms of setting up some kind of visit norms or certain kind of activities which are important right now. So maybe payment collection is not important to me. You don't want uh, team to be bothered about payment collection, but explicitly focusing on just the ordering part and some kind of merchandising execution. So you can just nudge the system to only take those two activities into consideration for calculating and directing sales team in terms of importance. So this
Yeah,
feature, yeah.
So help me plan from finding out, which customers require my attention to why they require my attention. And eventually, when you reach the customer, you can get customer level insights really to direct your action, direct your conversation with the customer to make the whole process more effective. Like Kaushal said, I hope you got it that, you can use the planning piece along with the customer insight, or you can use just the customer insight piece separately, right? Industries where planning is more uh, a beat plan drill, you may not want to touch it for the front line. You would not touch it for the front line, but the front line can still get the customer level insights, right? And this is a good tool in such industries for managers, right? Because they have to decide which customers they should be spending time on, because they don't visit all customers, but they have to prioritize their time on some customers, right? And at team, we are also wanting to do this. Currently, we are working in ramp up customer mode, which basically means that during the development phase itself or during the early development phase, we work with some select customers to collaborate with them. So we've been working that model with some customers. We are happy to expand the list. This is already in production, and if you sign up for this like before 31st March, we want more of you to join and work in this early phase with us and reap the benefits earlier. So we have attractive, we have 3 months trial for free trial, by the way. And beyond that, if you join us before 31st of March, then we have really attractive prices for this additional module. Remember, this costs us because there is a AI model that runs behind it, and there's a lot of computation that is happening. So there is an additional cost to it, but we are keeping it very attractive for people who join us early before 31st of March, right? Which is the 5th one, Kaushal. Okay, retail GPT. So again, this is something that we talked about last time. We showed you a glimpse of this as well. It's really a conversational chatbot on your sales data, right? Just like you in real world time, I think almost all of us would have had some chats with Chat GPT by now, or any of those other models like Gemini or Grok or such tools. But this is really you chatting with your sales data, right? It's almost exactly in the same fashion, right? So we are going to do a demo again. Again, we are in a ramp up customer mode in this. This is not put out for public use in production yet. In fact, we wanted to do it this quarter, but we are giving ourselves one more quarter. We want to fine tune it further before we expand it for public use. You are invited to start working with us earlier than that. What we're going to show you today, which is on top of what we showed you last time, is really, we wanted to go deeper in terms of, how can we make some of these questions to this chatbot complex in terms of sales questions that people would want to ask, right? The questions could be at my territory level or could be in the context of a specific customer, but we wanted to support slightly more complex questions because we do want to go beyond, right, what you get out of tabular reports and what you get data about otherwise, right? So that it's really impactful for you. So that's something that we have worked on, tried to sort of have real conversation with it, try to let people have real conversation with it on complex questions where the chatbot itself, where the tool itself can ask you back that, hey, I need further information from you to answer this question, right? So that kind of interaction, right? Kaushal, let's show where we have reached on this. And like I said, available for public use definitely by next quarter. Currently, we'll continue to work with select customers. Kaushal, you're on mute.
So basically the context is that all kind of sales data which is there in the system corresponding to me, now users ask those questions in a different way. They mean it differently. So what we are doing is we are building a capability of conversation that if system is confused, it can basically build on what is my existing context. So let's say I started with this, and then I keep continuing my conversations. I can just keep continuing my conversation on this. That give me a sales of last 3 months, then 5 months. Then maybe my next question can be, can you system is basically asking that it has all of the previous context and is basically I'm just asking a subsequent question which has context to all my previous questions. It gives me all kind of graphical representation straight away. So users basically save time in terms of not digging into reports. So I started with that, give me last 3 months sale, no, give me last 5 months, just break it down at user level, break it down at customer level. So it is basically keeping me the context. It broke down by customers. Now maybe I can just ask that, can you break it down by SKU? Yeah, so this is the part we wanted to bring out.
Right.
That you just ask subsequent questions. So basically, the user's queries are sequential. That okay, give me sales trend in this area, then maybe highlight on some products, maybe highlight on some specific users. So that they can keep building this conversation. This conversation can be in the context of a customer that I'm meeting right now. I just need to ask system some specific question about that customer, or it can also be on territory level that I'm analyzing my territory. I want to analyze something on category level, so I can just chat with the system on those territory level and customer level questions.
Yep. That is all, Kaushal, right? Yeah, again, this one, team, we are happy to work with early customers on this conversational bot, the retail GPT component. Like I said, this again an AI component, so has a complete sort of model behind it, and a cost associated with it. So it's a paid feature, but people joining before 31st of March, we are working on some really very attractive prices, and a lot of things are going out as part of working with you and appreciating your early gesture of working on this. So we look forward to getting some responses from some of you and start working on this with you, right? I think there were some miscellaneous items that we released before we open it up for Q&A. Very quickly, Kaushal, if you want to just go on that slide, a quick glimpse. We took functional scalability forward in stock taking workflow. There were a lot of scenarios where, just stay back in the last page, right? So there were a lot of scenarios where people wanted to capture information while taking stock at a retail outlet, like batch number or expiry date or something at a SKU level. We have extended the configurability to have custom fields at SKU level, so you can do that. Auto replenishment of order recommendation. Order recommendation for auto replenishment of distributor orders, right? So primary orders, you have an auto replenishment engine now, or order recommendation works on that, right? Approvals for order and return for a specific customer segment. A lot of customers had specific customer segment where they gave the discretion to the sales rep that, hey, you can make a deal with the customer, right? But if you're making a deal beyond a level, or if you're making a deal at all, then it needs to go through an approval, right? So basically, we have enabled a approval workflow on order as well as return, and you can choose where you want to apply, right? Yeah, van sales scenario, we gave you some broad features, but this is another little one that we did, right? Scenarios where you want to take a return from us of a particular store, not because it's damaged or because it's stale or expired, but because it just doesn't sell there, right? And sales rep has to be able to, in the same trip, be able to sell at other places, right? So we've enabled that workflow. Managers now have much more intuitive, sort of much more actionable view of their customer landscape, right? So manager logging into the system, being able to see, hey, who are my wholesalers, how many wholesalers I have under in my territory, how many of them have been newly added, and what is the scenario, applying multiple filters on them, and then again trying to decide, what to do, right? Or be able to see other class of retail outlets. So much better, much granular and actionable view of their landscape, right, for managers, right? Order placement by upload in some industry verticals, retailers have a sort of more organized way of keeping an Excel sheet of data of orders that they want to place, because SKUs are large in number. Like auto parts, for example, works very well, very much as distribution in any other industry. But retailers there have a complete list of SKUs that they want to order. So we've enabled a Excel sheet upload order functionality on the customer app interface, right? Yeah, those are things that we did, opening up to all of you for questions. We'll try and do justice with it. We can spend more time if you can hang around as well, but we still have 7 minutes in our scheduled time. So please go ahead.
You can drop
your... Open it up for sort of audio activation.
Yeah. So you can simply raise your hand and we'll allow you to talk. So we have the option to enable audio for you. Just raise your hand from the bottom.
Why not open it up for Prashant?
Yes.
He had a question earlier. Yeah.
Go ahead, Prashant. Prashant, we're not hearing you. You'll need to enable your audio from the bottom left.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, this is referring to your first part, which is on tertiary sales. Now, I'm still not clear because the module sits with the retailer, and the retailer sells to an end consumer. Now, in many cases, a retailer will be a multi-brand retailer. It's very few, and the consumer in those sort of an outlet will be so many coming at any point of time. Do you expect that every time he then feeds into that? How do you capture tertiary? I'm still not sure. If you expect the retailer to keep on adding, it just doesn't happen.
Uh, so Prashant, if you are just imagining it for FMCG use case, then if it's a very small retailer, it's not possible.
No, I'm taking it for whether it's an FMCG, whether it's an auto dealer, whether it's a lubricant dealer, whether it's a paint dealer.
Yeah.
It is it's typically a wide set of retailers who have multi-brand, and then they have a set of customers, as you mentioned. It could be a contractor or an end customer who comes, walks in, and walks away. So how do you expect them to feed that into the module?
So basically, taking example of contractors and all of the companies, they know that on any kind of purchase they are making, if they just put it in the system, it has certain points associated with them, and every time they make a purchase, it keeps getting added up. Now, in some cases, because these contractors know that certain kind of rewards are associated, whenever they are buying, they tell to dealer that you need to report some kind of sellout so that we get the reward. And dealers also know. So, any kind
Oh,
of
no,
incentivization.
that can happen of misuse. So that can happen in many cases where you burn a QR code or whatever, and then it tags that into it. That I perfectly understand. But if you expect that I, as a walk-in customer or as a walk-in contractor, tells the dealer, you just enter, the dealer can very well smudge. He can just put any names into it, and then say this is tertiary. So
Yeah. So
maybe
there are checks inbuilt. There are
but I'm
checks
still
inbuilt,
not sure.
Prashant. For paint industry particularly, you can have the influencer himself, the painter himself, scan this on his WhatsApp connected application that we give to him. So he actually scans the coupon that comes out of the package after he's opened it up, right? So obviously it's very well protected in those industries in lube oil, for example, or paint, where the coupon comes after you open the package, and it's the influencer himself doing it. There are certain other industry verticals where you have consumer durable items, for example, right, at a dealer, right, which is large items. They go through proper after sales, registration and etc. There, people don't hesitate giving this capability to the dealer himself that, hey, scan this, you scan the QR code reporting your sellout, right? And the sellout, other use cases are, other flows are connected, right? Warranty registration and warranty card sending to the consumer on WhatsApp and etc. So people don't really get into fraud of reporting a sellout from a consumer.
Okay, yeah, fine. Maybe it's industry specific, so I take it. Okay.
Kaushal, you'll have to take over. Maybe Vinay's internet got disconnected. Varun, you have some question?
Oh, hi, I hope I'm audible to all of you.
Yes. Yes.
First of all, thank you, Mr. Kushal and Vinay, for a fantastic take through of the new features of the app. I don't know whether I'm asking the question in the right manner, but I saw that there is some insight for a delegate when he or she is logging the app about the customer history. So basically, you're showing that uh, why we need to visit. I mean, the delegate has to visit to that customer like 60% drop down in the order or payment. My question is that, see, I'm talking in front of my company. I'm part of a healthcare company. So this kind of report, whether it's also available in the admin portal or it would be only available on the app for the delegate. And I'm saying from that view because some of our delegates are catering to like retailers like 200, 250. So it would be very difficult for them if they have to go into each retailer's check in and see the retailer history. So that is my question.
Yeah. So basically, uh, on the second part, it's not made in that way that I go at each customer and check the history. That is why, on an overall universe level, it is bringing out high priority customers from all of those 250 customers. That
Okay.
insight part which I was showing was that if I am on certain customer already, so I went to that customer profile, I checked in at that customer. At
Mm-hmm.
that point, I'm checking insight. But based
Okay.
on those insights, in Help Me Plan module, it is aggregating all of those customers and sorting it out by priority visits which he needs to make. So he does not
Okay.
need to visit each of those customer profile.
Okay. Okay. Done. Thank you.
There are some questions in the chat, Kaushal. You can look at them and answer them. So we have a comment from Julius. They're interested in Help Me Plan module. So Julius, you can reach out to your customer support executive, customer success contact, or you can just fill the form on our website and we'll talk to you. Then Sadiq has a question about price implications.
Yeah, customers can definitely select the modules. There is a price implication for Help Me Plan as well as Retail GPT because they have incremental cost associated from a platform point of view for us also.
Yeah, so these modules, the new features, they are not turned on by you by default. So only if you want to get these new features like the AI features, only then the price implications come into the picture.
Nikhil, can you enable audio for more people? Lee Ken is there. Ram Tushar. Like I see hands raised.
Yeah. I have enabled all three people.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
This is Ram from but in our concern, you can also include some exceptional reports in the mobile app for the users. Now what you are providing is the reports of what they have done. Okay, if it will be very helpful for us if you include what they have not done. Okay, for example, so the schedules which has been assigned to the users, but they haven't visited. Okay, and what are the outlets visible in their routes? And there are some outlets for certain periods they wouldn't been performing any activity. Those if the user can take those reports, it will be very helpful for them to filter those and focus on those outlets.
Yeah, yeah. So something like this is already in the plan. We are including it.
Please.
And
Yeah.
on exception-based reporting, Ram, we do have QSBot that already covers several scenarios of exception where it throws out a notification directly to the user on the mobile device. And in fact, it allows you to get further down in detail, right, by asking some questions, right? So for example, hey, you haven't visited X number of customers in last 20 days, right? Is a notification that goes out from QSBot already. And you can react to that notification and then get into the details of, which all those customers are, right? And then go schedule a visit to those customers or something like that, right? Or another exception, for example, hey, sales has gone down in your territory by 30%. Hey, X number of outlets have degrown in your territory, right? All these notifications, they already are part of our QSBot module. If you're a customer already, and if you're missing out on a exception, do reach out to us. We'll definitely act on this.
Okay, sure. We will try that and
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, Lee, you have a question?
It's okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions, guys? Just remember, you can always reach out to your key account manager or customer success contact If you want to see a more detailed demo of any of these features, you want to know more, you want to figure out how to start using these features, or you want to take benefit of our free trial period for the AI features, you can always reach out to your contact at BeatRoute.
Yeah. So thank you so much, everyone. We will keep interacting, and thank you for your support in terms of giving your time and listening to us. We intend to do it at this frequency so that there is clear communication in terms of what we are working on and any kind of feedbacks also.
Cool. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.